Hello guys, and welcome back to another class of our course about the complete introduction to Photoshop. So as you can see, until now we have created a basic Photoshop project that is a picture where we have written a code. So what we'll do in this class, it's pretty simple. We are going to talk a little bit more about layers. So I'm just gonna bring a little introduction to this topic and some basic Photoshop things that you can do to work with layers. So what exactly is a layer? Basically, a layer is an object. So when you will import a picture right here, it's gonna automatically be generated in a new layer. So let's take once again our past picture and we bring it right there. So as you can see, it's generated as another picture right here. Another thing that is pretty important to understand is the layer order. So let's say, for example, that I put my layer, my picture layer at the beginning right here. What's gonna happen is that it's gonna be in front of my text. So basically what's happening right now is that I can't see my text because basically the picture is in front. So that is a problem, even if my text is written right here. So pretty important, the order of the layers will allow us to know what comes first and what comes last. So basically, let's say I put my text right here, I put my picture right here, and I start to play with my text. So let's take this text right there, and I want to put it in front of never give up. So basically, this text right here will come in front of this text right here. But if I change the order, so basically if I take this text and I put it in front, what's happening is that it's going to change right here as well. So basically the order of the layers is pretty important as well. So as I said, basically it all starts with a layer that is an object. So basically an object means that an object could be a text, an object could be a picture as well. So it starts with this. So to be able to, for example, put one layer in front of another, or basically to add a text in front of a picture, so on a picture, it's pretty simple. You just create another layer and you put it in front of the picture. If you want to add a text in front of another text, so in this case, if I want to put the "by me" in front of the "never give up," I just change the order and it's gonna automatically change the order right here. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. So another thing that you guys can do with your layers is modify their type. So basically, let's try it out with one text. So let's try it out with the "never give up" text. So first thing that you can do, you can modify the type of not the type of text, but the type of luminosity and the lightning and all this stuff. So basically, you can see it right here. I can modify it. There is plenty of different types, and I can modify my text right here. So pretty simple and pretty interesting. So same thing with my picture. So I can modify my picture type. So as you can see, it's there are different picture types that I can actually have. So it's pretty cool. Some are more light, some are less light. So it's pretty interesting. Let's keep it normal. Another thing that you guys can do, for example, you wanna, I don't know, you wanna have less opacity. You wanna make a ghost, not a ghost element, but how we can say it. You wanna make something that is less opaque. So basically, like a ghost. So pretty simple. Let's select our text right here. So the "never give up" text, and we'll just change the opacity. So instead of 100%, we are going to reduce it. So as you can see, it just becomes a little bit more fluid, a little bit more, we can see it less, but once again, it gives a certain style, which is pretty cool to our project. And we can do this for all of our layers. So for example, we want to change our opacity for this layer right here as well. It's possible. So as I said, you can do pretty much anything you want for, you can do anything you want for with your layers. Pretty simple. You simply select them. So first thing that is pretty important, the layer order. So as I said, first of all, layer order. Then when your order is perfect, what you want to do is you can add for the pictures, of course, you can modify the type of, not the type of the picture, but basically all the lightning and all this stuff. It's gonna be right here. So right now I'm playing with the text right there. So let's just select the picture. As you can see, I can change my picture type, so I can make it more, well, the luminosity more luminous, less luminous. Basically, I choose how I want it. So when it's all done, I can then decide my opacity level. So if I want my picture to be really, really like seen or less seen. And basically, right now I'm doing this with the picture that is in the background. So basically this picture right here. But the thing is, when you have a lot of elements inside of your picture, so let's say I have, I don't know, 10 or 20 layers. Basically, when you're working with just one layer, it's, I don't know, it's pretty, it's way simpler. It's not like the background picture. Usually, normally the background picture, you don't add a lot of modifications right here. You can modify it with like the lightning and all this stuff directly on the picture, but not with those, not with the elements right here. But you can do it as well, and right now you know that you can do it, well, you can of course use those elements right here to modify your picture as well. So right now you have a little introduction to layers. You know how it works, and now you know how to put your text directly on the layer or put a picture in front of another picture with the layers that you have. Hello guys, and welcome back to another class of our course about the complete introduction to Photoshop. So what we talked about in the past few classes, we talked about layers and different other things. And what we are going to talk about today will be the little options up there. So basically those options are used pretty much for, well, for organization. And when you guys have multiple layers and you want to create something with those layers, it's really useful basically to organize your layers into just one picture. So let's try it out. So we are going to talk about this today and also about the history panel. So basically what exactly we can do with the history and when you want to undo things. So basically we're going to talk about those two topics. So let's start. So first thing, what exactly we need? We need one picture. So this is exactly what we will do. We are going to import one picture right here. So our picture as we have it. So right there we have one picture. And we can work with it. So we have our mountain picture right here. What we'll do, we'll make it a little bit smaller since we don't want it that big. Then what we want to do, we want to have multiple pictures. So what we'll do, we'll simply duplicate it. So we'll create 5 or 6 of those pictures. So Control C and then Control V. So as you can see, I have created maybe 6 of those pictures. So what we'll do, we'll simply put them everywhere. So here we go, we have our 6 pictures right here. All right, so right now that I have my 6 pictures, let's say I want to go back. So we'll start with the history part. So let's say I want to go back in time and delete one of those, or simply go back in time and see where, well, let's say I have made a mistake and I want to go back in time and see where exactly I have made a mistake. So I can click on Control Z. But once again, it can take a lot of time, and if you have done a lot of things, this could be complicated. So basically what we'll do, we are going to see the whole history of what we have just did. So pretty simple how exactly we do this. We simply go on Window, and here you will have all the little extensions that you can have access to. So basically you have character, color, and other things. What we are going to look for will be history. So history is right here. We are going to click on it. So as you can see here, we have everything that we have just done. So pretty much everything that is stored in history, so we can make it bigger. And as you can see, we have absolutely everything right here. So from the beginning, so we moved our layers, we duplicated our layers. What we moved our layers again. So let's say we want to come back in time right here. So as you can see here, we only have 4 layers. We can come back in time at the beginning right here. So here we have our 6 layers. So this is how we get access to all the history of what we have just did. So basically this element right there is pretty simple. What it does, it simply give us, it's like history on your web browser. It gives you the history of everything that you have just done. It's pretty much the same thing on Excel and Word. You have a browser, well, you have a little thing like this. But on Photoshop, well, it's right there, and this is how you get access to it. All right, so second thing, what I wanted to cover today is pretty simple. I wanted to cover the options right here. So you'll see it's pretty simple to understand. What it does, it's pretty much like, let's say, for example, on Excel, when you want to align your text, it works pretty much the same way. but instead of aligning your text, making text alignments, it's gonna align your layers. And this is exactly what we'll do. So I think we are going to use even smaller layers in this case. So we are gonna make even smaller layers like this. We can delete the other layers. We don't necessarily need them. We are going to keep just this one. So what we'll do right now is pretty simple, just Control C and Control V. And we are going to create a bunch of different layers. And you can put them whatever you want. So as you can see, we have layers pretty much everywhere. And what we'll do right now, we are going to select multiple layers. So how exactly you can select more than one layer? It's pretty simple. You simply click on the Shift button and you can select the number of layers that you want. So it could be Shift. For Mac users, it's gonna be Control. So here we go, we have selected all the layers that we want. And as you can see right now, those buttons right here got activated, and you can select how you want to put your layers. So basically, if you want to put them this way, you can do it. If you want to put them this way, you can do it as well. Once again, you decide how you want to put your layers. Once again, you can unselect them and re-put them everywhere and do the exact same thing. And what it will do, it will simply, as I said, align your layers. So let's do it again. So select your layers, well, all of your layers. Here we go. So we have all of our layers selected. Let's say we want to align it this way. So as you can see here, we have aligned it this way. Let's do it again. So we can select all our layers again. Here we go. Let's align it this way. So as you can see, once again, your layers get aligned. So right now we don't have only 2 left. It will just be aligned this way. So as you can see, this is how our layers get aligned. So basically the buttons right here are really useful to align your layers in a certain way. It's like aligning text, but in this case, it's alignment of layers. Once again, it could be really useful for, let's say, for example, if you have multiple layers, or let's say you have 10 layers in one picture that you want to work with and align them in a certain way. You can use the tools right here. They're pretty useful. Well, they're pretty useful. So as you can see, there are different other ways that you can align your layers. Not only this, you can, for example, select a bunch of layers. Instead of aligning all the layers, you can select, for example, 3 layers that you want to align and align them in a certain way. So as you can see here, we have aligned our 3 layers in a certain way. As you can see, it's pretty simple to use, and those are the basics of how you can align your layers. So I hope you guys learned something new today. So we talked about how to control the history and how to align your layers, which is pretty simple. So that's it for this class, guys, and see you all in our next class.